oftentimes we believe that just because we have the capacity that's the assignment.
It's not.
And you've said that before. You was like, oh, you likened it to the gallon and the pint size people. And because you're a gallon, then it takes a lot more to fill you up, but also because you have so much overflow that people can get blessed by your overflow. So oftentimes you think that that's your assignment is to come into people's life and see their deficiency and be like, oh, I got enough love to give. And I believe, of course, that that's what God is trying to heal you from, is that you're not the Jesus in their relationships. You're not supposed to save them.
When I tell you, no, it ain't trying to heal me from. You hear that? What happened to me? I just told you I went to jail. How much more you think he got to do to me? I'm good. I got it. I got 2 words for you. Hello, hubby. Hello, hubby. Hello, hubby. Hello, hubby. Oh, shoot. So we're back. Hello Hubby is back. And of course, I have to say, I have missed you. I've missed you so much. Oh, I know you missed me. Because everybody been talking, but you haven't heard me saying anything. You know what I mean? But let me tell you something. I want to apologize for my inconsistency in our relationship. I take full ownership on neglecting you and not being here. And I want you back. Please come back. Subscribe. You know, let's hang. You know what I'm saying? All right, now I got that out the way. Of course, in order to kickstart season 2, I had to bring to Hello Hubby, the one who brought me on his show and helped create Hello Hubby, Mr. Dear Future Wifey himself, my friend, the person I could fight, but I love him. Mr. Laterras Whitfield, ladies and gentlemen. Laterras, please, take it easy.
What's going on, Jessica?
Laterras, the sigh already is suspect.
No, because I said we just going to talk.
Okay, but the sigh is already suspect. Okay, let's go.
So why is the sigh suspect?
Because you know it is.
I just want to know where you've been.
You're just too anxious.
No, I'm saying, where have you been all this time? People been hitting me up saying, where's Hello Hubby? She just left us hanging. And I
had some things happen that I had to take a pause and handle.
Okay, so what are those things that happened?
I had some stuff that occurred, Laterras, and I had to take a pause to handle those things. Laterras, if you're gonna start there, okay.
What?
Okay.
Cause we keep it lit, so we live in.
Well, no, we don't keep it lit on Hello Hubby.
Oh yes, we do.
Hello Hubby.
Oh yes, we do.
That is not our motto.
So Hello Hubby, we frauds. We don't come
ain't
tell
frauds, but that ain't our motto. Sometimes we just conceal.
Y'all conceal and heal.
Yes.
Why you deal? For real?
Oh. Okay, I'm ready.
So, Jessica, you and I had a conversation. You actually mentioned this particular person on my episode of the podcast. You mentioned the first date that you went on this with this individual.
Yeah.
And then you end up going on the second date with that person.
This is true.
And so people were just left hanging with this.
They didn't. We started Hello Hubby.
Yeah, we started Hello Hubby, and we just never heard about this guy ever again. And you and I had conversations about this particular guy.
So fast.
And and see, Jessica, you have such a giving heart. Jessica has a very giving heart. And when I have beautiful, amazing friends like Jessica, I realize that they often invest in stuff that shouldn't be investable. And you spend and exert a lot of time and energy and emotion on Build to Bear projects. And money on Build to Bear projects. So what happened with you and this particular individual?
All right, let me tell you what happened, right? All right, so let me tell you what happened, right?
I'm waiting.
So after your episode, we had a big fight. Because apparently I was cracking bad jokes. I thought I was funny, but apparently somebody was sensitive about my humor. Okay, I was being honest, but and I told him, nobody knew it was you until now. Shh, be quiet. Why would you? Anyway, we got into a big fight about that. It was pretty brutal. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Whatever. Long story short, some kind of way we worked our way back to seeing each other, and we went out, and we got back together. All right, cool. So the thing, right? This is what happened.
Why your voice elevate?
Because Laterras, this you want to get to the meat of it? Because I'm sick of you. This is what happened. All right. I didn't like the way that he treated me. He was mean to me. He was disrespectful. And he was that way because of his upbringing and his ways of defense. And I've learned to be careful with how I talk about those kind of people because they're in process.
Right.
They're not declared. You know, they're in process.
Correct.
However, I caught him at the process of underdevelopment. All right? And he was abusing me emotionally and verbally, and I was laughing at it because I was like, stop. It didn't hurt me. And here's a part about being healed. Stuff that used to hurt don't hurt no more.
Right.
And you be like, what are you doing? And it made me stick around when I should have been like, let me get up out of here. This is weird. That doesn't hurt, but you trying to hurt me. So stop. You know? Yeah. And okay. So he ended up getting a new job. And I was supposed to help him move. But he had disrespected me in front of his mother during the process of moving. And I said, no, that ain't gonna happen. But I was very proud of him for getting the job. It's a job he always wanted, a job he had worked hard manifesting, because I can't say he did anything towards the job as far as anything other than just being himself. He was a dope guy. He dope, funny, you know, just dope. He has this part that he needs to grow on. And I really want to say that because I could say a lot of things, but I'm healed from it. So I don't have no bashing words for him. He has an area that he has to heal.
Right.
Otherwise he's going to
implode.
Yes. So long story short, he goes to this new position, which is in a different state and city. And again, I'm proud of him, whatever. I had a few of his belongings at my place, and he hit me up like, I want to get my belongings. Okay, not a problem. He came in wearing the shades that I bought him, and I'm like, oh, you bold. Because, brother, you done came here at nighttime. Why you got on glasses? Why you got on the glasses I bought you? Because you want me to see them. Are you trying to trigger me? I'm not triggered. I'm not triggered. You look good. That's why I got him. I'm like, okay, Cisco. You know what I'm saying? Wear them shades, baby. Okay, cool. You look good in them shades.
Cisco.
And so, all right. So this gentleman, he was like trying to be macho. I'm like, yo, chill. I had recently got like a doctor's diagnostic about my health at the time, and he was privy to that, just the state of my health at the time. And I just was like, life is short, chill. We don't have to be enemies. It didn't work out, and that's fine. And I became real big on that. Like, there's more good here than bad. We don't work together as companions, but I love you as a friend as well. You're funny. I mean, when I tell you hilarious, funny, cool dude. So I'm like, we can be friends. When it comes to relationship, you are toxic and crazy. And no, but he was still trying to be da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yo, chill. You know, I'll be goofy after a while. And again, my healed self playing around with unhealed people, you can't do that. Hey, you can't do that.
Not at all.
When you graduate from a place, you got to be around people that's where you at.
Facts.
I you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's get to it. Stop. Okay, let's get
I'm just listening.
All right, so let me tell you what happened, right? You listening? So
I'm listening.
All right, so then, okay, then cool. You listen. All right, so we had a conversation. All right, everything good. All right, a few days go by. He hit me up, what you doing, blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I said, look, I'm real proud of you. I said, as I told you, that I would come and just check on you, see how you doing. I said, I'm going to make a trip down there. I said, but I'm only going to stay a day. I said, I'm going to stay one day. And he was like, what you mean you want to stay one day? I said, I'm going to stay one day because I know your temperament. And I just ain't in the mood. I'm literally coming there to let you know I'm proud of you. And way to go. Way to land this. Like, this is a huge accomplishment. Way to land this position. So and great Jessica Reedy, supportive, loyal for no reason, and just love. I got in the car, drove down there, ended up getting there around 5 or 6 p.m. Right?
Right.
But I was willing to get back on the road. Just say, okay, cool. I mean, you here. It's too late to leave now. You might as well kick it. That ain't his tone because he really country like this. But for the sake of not identifying who this brother is, we're going to give him a different voice. Okay?
Like your voice is identified.
His voice really go like, I mean, young man, it's already light out here. You might as well, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm gonna give him a different voice or whatever. And so he was like,
it's a little too late for that.
No,
Just
okay, sorry. And so I ended up staying. Got a chance to see his office. It was bare bone. Okay, in true Jessica Reedy fashion, I was taught, ask somebody if they need something. If you see a need, go ahead and supply that. Okay, you need a little woman's touch in here. So I decked this place up.
Oh, you didn't tell me that part.
All right, now you know.
Jesus.
Let's move on.
No, we gonna hold on. So you don't went there to a dude you no longer dating and then go hook up his office?
Yeah. Because, I was proud of him. It was good. Hey, man, I've since then grown. I've been through a lot. And
I know, but we want to, because, there's some people that may still be there in that mentality. So I want to address that.
Don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Do not do that. Hey.
I think that worked, Jessica, when you told me.
Don't do that. Sister, don't do that. Don't decorate their place. Get out of there. Run. Do you hear me? I said run.
They heard you, Jessica. So you
don't do
Jessica,
that.
They heard you.
All right.
So you went and decorated his place, and then what did he say about that? You decorated his office. What did he say?
Oh, man. You did what I knew you was going to do.
Oh, really?
What did you just say? That's what was brewing. I said, are you not going to say thank you? What was that response? Rewind the tape. Let's do a do-over. Hey, do you like your office? Oh, yeah. You did what I knew you was going to do. I was like, I got to get the hell out of here. Hey, I started on my escape plan at that moment. It was at that moment that I knew he had not changed.
And then what happened?
So I'll tell you what happened, right? I ain't go, though. I was trying to leave, but I ain't go. So I'm like, I did a gulp. And I was like, okay. He was like, hey, shit, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, God help me. I mean, stupid can have you. You understand? When stupid get a hold of you and tell you you're smart, you stuck. You stuck. If stupid get you and then convince you that you smart, hey, sis, you might as well kick your feet up. You stuck. Stupid told me I was smart. And I believed it. I was like, yes, I am. And my darkness was dark. And, okay, because that. But here's the thing. I'm only telling this story for the sake of jokes because don't judge me. I am no longer that person. I pray that you can discern that I have since grown and matured because what happens next, none of us expected. What happens next? None of us expected, Laterras. The hell happened to me?
Talk to me.
Excuse my hell word, but since it is a place, we're gonna negate it from a cuss word. What the city happened to me? God help. All right, so let me tell you what happened. Right?
What happened, Jessica?
All right, so on countless occasions, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna get up out of here," right? Because I could feel his disrespect level was going high, and I believe it's because the position he was holding at his job, starting off, even though you are high up for students, you're a rookie again.
Right.
And so I don't know if there is like that whole hazing phase or just belittling or, just steps of respect you have to climb.
Yeah.
But as a man, I realized that his security came by demeaning women to find his king, his royal place.
You found out when? At what part of y'all?
Many times, Laterras. Again, we are revamping this story, not because I'm stuck here, but for the sake of conversation. You want to know where I've been? Let me tell you.
She gonna tell
Listen,
you.
I'm going to say this one more time, sis. I know I said it on his episode. If somebody already been dumb, don't go and be dumb. I am covering dumb for us. Like, I got you. I promise I got you. I'm going to walk. I walk this thing all the way to the light. I'm in the light now. I walked all the way out. So walk with me. I know you like, dang, Jessica, you dumb. Okay. I mean, sis, I knew you was funny dumb before, but nothing to you dumb. Dang, girl, you dumb. All right, I got it. But here's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, Jesus.
I did that for us.
I did that for the team.
Took one for the team. I did that for us. So say thank you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
anyway.
Oh, God.
So on this particular night, because mind you, earlier that day, I was like, yo, I'm done. You can smell it on me. Because my whole demeanor changed. How I was walking changed. And what he had done, this was what was so crazy. He had described me to his family as himself. So I'm kind and chilled and peaceful. He's irrational, irate.
So he told his family as you.
Yeah, he told his family, I just be calm and peaceful and she be irate and irrational. Like, he took my identity and named himself as me. And so his family saw me as some crazy Christian, like a crazy chick.
I can't say that because one of his family members.
Okay, I thank God for her.
Yeah, one of the family members called early on and said, Laterras, did you know that Jessica is talking to one of my kinfolk?
Move forward.
No. I'm telling you, warning always comes before destruction.
Okay.
Warning always comes before destruction.
Is it hot in here?
Yeah, it's hot. But listen,
Okay.
one of the family members called me and said, Laterras, what is Jessica seeing in my kinfolk? And I'm not even trying to say the association, so I'm just going to say kinfolk, so it could be anybody. He said, what does Jessica see in my kinfolk? She could do way better than him. I said, let me go ahead and call old Jessica.
Now, let me tell you why I didn't heed to that advice.
Hold on, but I got to finish the story.
Okay.
So you can hear the advice. So I called Jessica.
No, you better tell it right, too, all the way through. Go ahead. All right.
I called Jessica.
Go ahead.
Jessica gets on the phone. I said, Jessica, this
Hello.
is your dude's kinfolk. Kinfolk, tell Jessica what you just said to me. Jessica, you are such an amazing woman. You are so great.
And
oh my
thank you
God.
for that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're an amazing woman. What do you see in this guy? This guy is not on your level at all. Your only takeaway from that conversation was, I can't believe that somebody would say that about their kinfolk.
Here's why. And this is why it's important to heal and forgive. Because my kinfolk have lied about my character to other people. And
so all you heard was that.
Yeah. I didn't associate it from a space of warning as much as I did
of a trigger.
And so
that's good.
Having that unhealed space and that
that's
unforgiveness from my own kinfolk.
That's good.
Because I know for a fact how I've had kinfolk lie and spread it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, McNugget, I will fight you. You know I'm
crazy.
But you know. Why are you doing that? Stop.
You know me.
I literally text my kinfolk and said, hey, it's me.
You remember me.
Cut that out. They don't know what you do. What do you think you're doing? And so when I heard it, it did not resonate as warning. It resonated as
a trigger.
protection.
Yeah.
Okay. he and I have something in common.
That's
Because
good.
I could still see all of the good he had, and I could see his imperfections. So during that time, I'm in this healed space. I still was in the space of when I get healed, my mind was when I get healed, I have to give.
Yeah, you have
I
enough capacity
tools
to help him.
to help somebody else, not just a him, but help anybody that comes into my circumference. And it just so happened to be somebody that I actually like. I like this guy. And during different conversations, he was on a self-awareness of his actions where he like, yeah, that was wrong what I did, but I did it. I definitely know that was wrong. And so hearing that as opposed to somebody who always said, I'm right.
Yeah.
That wasn't what it was.
Right.
He knew when he was wrong. And we had private conversations of him understanding it. So I'm like, okay, this is somebody willing as opposed to what I've dealt with in the past.
Right.
Where I ain't done nothing wrong. You the one wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with me. So it's like, I have something to offer you.
Good.
You I can help.
It makes sense.
You get what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
And so that was not the case. I'm sure.
But you had seen signs prior to
1000%.
Yeah, before she even said that you understood
1000%.
that it was coming from a space of confirmation.
Yeah.
But then you're protective, which is great because a good woman will always try to cover her man. And so you automatically came to cover and say, no, I got this. But I believe that you hit a very valid point when you said that the warning came as a trigger to you.
It came as a trigger. And so for me, there's so many moments in my life I can look back where warnings were there. But I was hurting in spaces.
That's good.
Spaces that I didn't dwell in to deal with. So they were secondary to my nature. They weren't in the forefront of my mind because I had removed myself from those environments. But it was unhealed spaces. And so many times I've been warned about so many things. And having time to myself now to heal, having time to myself to gather myself, to see and run the tape back and say, Jessica, let's go all the way back to when you had Justin. You remember when your sister said, get on the bus with me back to school, Jessica, during spring break. And I said, no, I'm staying an additional week.
And that's when you got pregnant?
That's when I got pregnant.
Wow.
But because me and my sister were at odds, I couldn't hear her.
You couldn't hear it. You couldn't receive it.
And all of the warnings were coming through familiar. Nah, I can't hear you. You hear what I'm saying?
That's good.
And when I come back, in order for me to grow, I've had to identify roots
Yes.
of why
Yes.
I respond this way. Why warning sounds like something else to me. Why I identify don't as you just trying to block my way.
There it is.
You just trying to get in my way. And that was a problem. Oh, but I ain't got that problem no more. That problem is fixed. Let me tell you how dope God is. God will have someone. Here's what I've realized. I've realized that we are all on individual journeys, and there has been a prescribed ingredient for each person to reach the destined place.
100%.
And so there are assigned pains, assigned obstacles, not for the pain of us, but for the growth, maturity, whatever you lacking, they've come to help you get there. And most growth come through pain. Most growth, like the pain of denying yourself, the pain of sacrifice, the pain of, it comes through a discomfort.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, I had to shake this off of me. So I was done wrong so rightly that it did what it needed to do. I'm getting ready to leave. My son's birthday, it was going to be his 5th birthday. He was out of the country with his father. And we were going to do a Zoom call to do the whole happy birthday thing. And then, Justin had his balloons. He was in Michigan with my mom for the summer. And then my boys were in Senegal with their dad. We got balloons on every continent. We ready. Everybody ready. I done bought a cake. But I was getting ready to leave because earlier that day he had disrespected me. And I said, yeah, no, I'm out. I'm not respected here. He sees no value in me. So I'm out. And I had my suitcase, everything packed. And I said to God, Lord, now, his temperament. Is it better to get my bag and take it to the door so he can already know what's up, or leave the bag here, go have the conversation, and then come back and get the bag. Holy Spirit said,
Take the bag.
nah, Holy Spirit so dope. He said, nah, leave the bag. You won't need it. Leave the bag. You ain't gonna need it. I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what that meant. So I go in and I start the conversation like this. I said, hey, we need to talk. And what I didn't know was he had called his mother on the phone.
Oh, she was sitting on the phone hearing the conversation?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he had done that. Like, he had mastered that. Because he had already started a smear campaign.
Ooh.
And mind you, this is a family I had helped, genuinely.
Oh, I remember.
And so it's like, I don't know how y'all conjuring up these ideas that I'm low-key bipolar or something. Who's feeding you this?
Yeah.
How am I bipolar? Like, ma'am, hello. Like, what? Have you been with the son you raised? I know disrespect, but I have 3 sons. I live with them, and I know who got what and who ain't got what. Man, 100%. Are you living in a denial state? Because Brahman ain't finished. Put him back in the oven. He needs to go back in. You got room? No, just kidding. Anyway, no, I'm not. And so he had his mom on the phone, or his sister or whatever. And I started the conversation. I said, we need to talk. I said, you don't love me. You don't value me. You don't respect me. And he disrespected me the last time. He was like, mother effer, get the F about my mother. Why you still effing here, B? And loud and abrasive. And the thing is, I had grown from the physical part of communication. I went through my upbringing of how I express myself.
Put them hands on somebody.
Is through fighting you.
Yep.
I had basically validated the space of I am confrontational. I have no fear of confronting you. I will come to you. You don't have to come to me. But getting saved and then God going through all the processes of shedding this trauma off me.
Yes.
This was my upbringing.
Yes.
This was like in my purest form, I'm not like that. In my purest form, I'm none but love. And I knew that. But for a long time, I was tucked.
Yeah.
So the more that I discovered Christ, the more that tuck spot kept coming out. And I'm like, yeah, I like light. I like love. I like being in healing environments. I love peace. Can I fight? Yes. Will I hurt you? Sure. Will I pick this house up and throw it across the street and then say, you all right over there? Yes, I will. But is that conducive for the environment I'm trying to cultivate? No. Is that going to help any of us? No. And so, but that was it. I guess he had finally drank every drop in my bucket. Mm-hmm. And I said, oh, nah, you ain't about to talk to me like that. And I felt that monkey get on my back.
There it is.
And it was there then. And I couldn't shake it. It takes a while, though, for it to get super powerful. But I felt that heat on my back. And I stood over him. I said, no, you're going to quit talking to me like that. This is 7-8 months of you talking. Yeah. And he stood up, big, get the F up. I couldn't take it. And I hit him. I hit him upside his head a couple times. Bald head, too. I was like, shut up. Bah! Shut ah! I was so angry. I was like, dude, you ain't that dope. But I done like, come on, man. You gotta chill out now. I done lowered myself on purpose. Yep. I've submitted to this.
On purpose.
On purpose. I need you to understand that I have not spread my wings in front of you on purpose. Because I understand where you at with your security, with what you trying to accomplish inwardly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to flex on you. But and I would give little hints like, chill, man. You don't know who I am.
Yep.
And forget the singing part. The soul wealth I have, it commanded rooms when we were going to. And I would feel his insecurities.
Yeah.
I would feel him get angry or diminished, or he would try to take the moment. And I'm like, dang. Yeah, you should stop doing that. Anyway, so I'm hitting this man. Let me tell you how dope God is. I hit him about 2 or 3 times in his head. And I was very angry. And the day before, he had injured himself really bad. He had tore something in his arm lifting weights. Because had he been at full capacity, I would be dead. During that second or third hit, and I used to play football, he grabbed my neck, body slammed me down, and he choked me and had his foot on my shoulder, and he smirked. He said, "What did you say now? I ain't hear you." "Huh? I don't hear you talking. Say it again for me." And he blacked out because he couldn't stop. And I watched it. And I felt my body leaving, my soul. And oh my God. And the only person I thought about was my oldest son finding out how I died. And Justin not being able to navigate life.
And you've done so much beautiful work on this amazing young man.
And right then, like, there was nothing I could do to get him off of me. It was over. And I had never experienced that level of slow death. I'd been in a car accident before where it was instant and I kind of went out for a minute and came back. But to feel life leaving was a different experience. And at that point, I want to say his arm started to hurt him because he couldn't hold the position or something. He was really hurt. He had really hurt himself the day before. And he had got off of me, but he was in shock that he did it. And I watched him be shocked at his own actions. And most women at that point grab their neck, go in a corner, they cry, or they get the phone, they call 911. Not this one.
Not Jessica.
No.
Jessica Reedy stands for Jessica Ready.
Not this one. My old traumas and how I dealt with things came back. And all I kept saying was, "You just tried to take me from my children."
Yep.
And the more I said it, the more angry I got. I said, "You just tried to take me from my children." I said, "You know they don't have nobody. You have watched me every single day raise my children. They have nobody but me. You know, even though I shouldn't have put my hands up, but you know what you done. And I went to, he was like in a little dormitory because he had just got the position. And I went to the kitchen and I was like, "Try to take me from my children." But here's the other part. God is so kind. I did not want to hurt him because if I wanted to, I would have. And I mean that with all sincerity of my heart. I just wanted him to know that you ain't dealing with no woman that bows. So I got a knife and I was very conscious of how I went to him because I wanted to see that fear in his eyes. I wanted you to feel what I just felt.
Yeah.
You're scared now, aren't you? I saw it. I saw his fear. And then that's when my superpower kicked in because he grabbed my arm, but he couldn't do nothing with it. I was raising that arm up. I said, "Nah, brother." Is she here now? I can feel my help. Oh, she here now. Somebody about to die. No, really. I felt a supernatural, like, he was like, I was like, "Oh, no, bro. She's here." And all I kept saying was, I said, "You just tried to take me from my children." I said, "I've been nothing but kind to you. I've been nothing but good to you and your family. You've done nothing for me. You've given nothing to me. You've offered nothing to me. I've been a blessing to you from the moment you met me. And you just tried to take me from my children." And long story short, I was fearful to call the police because at first that's not how I was raised.
Yeah, we don't be bringing the police in our business.
And then secondly, I didn't want him to get shot.
Yeah.
Because my assumption was it's a big black man. He's 6'3". I don't know how they gonna see him, and it ain't worth that.
Right.
Ugh. He called the police. And they arrested me. The officers on the campus that worked for the university who were big fans of his, put the flashlight on my neck and said, her eyes aren't bulging and we don't see any fingerprints. Well, I'm black. So good luck finding those. You know what I'm saying? Even hickeys take a while. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta suck like a slug to get that. Like, what do you mean? It take a while for a hickey to show up, let alone some fingerprints, brother. Give me a day. Oh, give me a day, I'll show you a bruise. I'm black. There's a white officer. Can you give me a second? It just happened. My body is trying to see how to support me. The blood don't know where to go. Like, golly. Oh, really? It was crazy. And so I went to jail. I got booked. And when I went to jail, God is so kind. I could cry. I get to jail, right? And put me in a holding cell in Oklahoma. It was about 13 women in there. Some of them were detoxing from heroin. I said, I'm the type of person, I sit with my back to the crowd. I don't like having my back to nobody. So I'm by the toilet. And they detoxing. So they, I need the toilet. And they throwing up. And I'm like, no, man. Oh, shoot. I said, oh. Right? So what happened is I ended up having a panic attack. I started feeling one coming. And I knocked on the door. I said, I'm sorry. I said, I can't breathe. And they were kind enough to take me out and took me to like the little nurse section. And while they were talking to me, the lady said, what's that on your shoulder? I'm like, what? And his footprint was all over my chest. I'm like, I don't even feel it. Because my adrenaline was so high. I'm like, I said, oh my God. So she took pictures. I had some bruises on my leg. And I stayed in jail for 2.5 days. But while I was there, the ladies in there kept saying, why are you so calm? I wasn't calm. I was about to erupt. I was so angry with God. I said, how could you? How could you let me come in here? You know me. You know my heart. You know everything I did for that family, for that man. And God didn't say nothing. And then one of the ladies said to me, who are you? You some supermodel or something? I said, no, I ain't no supermodel. I said, I'm a singer. Well, what kind of singer? And I cut my eye at her to let her know how to talk to me. In jail, you don't know who's who. You got to kind of be away. The movies will teach you something. I'm saying, I'm like, hold on, I'm going to answer your question, but who you talking to like that? I was like, hey, so I'm going to be myself, but just watch how you talking. And they were like, sing something for us then. And I sang.
What you sang? Take us to that moment.
What did I sing? I said, it's been a real hard couple of months. You've had enough. Mm-hmm. Well, it's been hard for everyone. You're not alone. Mm-mm. You've been hurting way too long. Let it go and just move on. And they all started crying. And before I ended, we all were a family. They ended up taking us to our cells. We finally got from the holding tank to the cell. And we were a family, and we prayed. And we played games. And the officers outside opened the door and was like, who was that in there singing? You got a beautiful voice. They country in Oklahoma. You got a beautiful voice. Sing something else. That girl can sing. Which one is that? And God gave me favor in there.
Yeah.
They were gentle with me in there.
Yeah.
And when I got out, I was so ashamed. I was so hurt. I was so embarrassed. And I didn't understand. So we ended up going to court. Right. Because he put a restraining order out on me.
Yep.
And I did not believe he would show up to carry that out like I was a threat. Right. And the thing is, during the moment, his sister had called cussing and stuff. And it triggered me again. And she was like, I know your type. You are one of them fake gospel chicks, think they tough. And I'm like, nah, you pegged the wrong one. I really am about to, and it was my upbringing talking, and
Saginaw.
yeah, and I'm like, nah. But then I had to remember, I'm like, I ain't got no beef with you.
At all.
And you defending your brother. And low key, I would do the same thing. So I'm gonna cuss you out a little bit, but then, girl, gone. That's the one I want right there.
Yep.
What are you doing? What you doing, sir? So we in the court. This brother restaged the whole fight because before the officers had came, I had cleaned up my mess. We had fought and all that, and I'm like, he had a roommate. I didn't want his roommate to walk into the common area and see all of that ruckus, so I straightened up. I cleaned up. My neck hurt, and I'm going through it, but I'm like, because he had left and he had the knife. He had finally got the knife. And I'm like, let me clean up because his roommate gonna come in and I don't want him to be like, dang it, we get robbed. I guess a mess up in here.
He said that we get robbed.
Real talk. And so so because I cleaned up, there's no way to validate
what actually happened.
So he went with the new evidence. Before I left though, in his room, I had straightened that mug up. I had played Tetris to make all compartments work for him. Went in there like got doggone Hawk smash. I was like, Hawk smash! Boom! Table broken. Hawk smash! Boom! Glass demolished. 10 points. Hawk smash!
You in there and tore up his room?
I tore up what I built. You build it now. I didn't tear up nothing he built. I tore up what I put together. I fixed that. That's it. That's just undid what I did.
Undid what I did?
I shouldn't have done it, though. I promise you. Even while I was doing it, I was laughing at myself. Like, what you doing? You ain't this kind of chick. You look at how he got you acting like you ain't this. It really was for points. It was not for emotion. It really was. You are very ungrateful. And you are unworthy of the prayers that have been answered. You prayed for help. And it came and you weren't ready. And he's at the in front of the judge. Laterras, I'm scared for my life. Look at her. Look how big she is. He's 6'3", 320 pounds.
He said, look how big she is.
Yeah, he's like, look at her. Look how big she is. I'm petrified for my life, Your Honor. Honestly, she threatened to kill my mama. I said, I did what? Hey, nigga, you crazy? And I'm looking at him, I'm like, my face was just, I wish they could run that tape. I was like, I said, yo, hey, this isn't rehearsal. We're actually in here. My career and my reputation's on the line. What are you talking about? We got in a fight in the bedroom. The bedroom? My luggage was in the bedroom. We didn't get in a fight. I'm like, oh, I cleaned up. He followed it. Then he stole my makeup. Now, that's one thing. I ain't hey, where my makeup at? What you do? You threw it away? That was me. That was me. That was a lot of makeup, and that was a lot of money. Oh, I ended up having I have a 3-year restraining order on me right now with 1 year down. And I had to pay restitution. But this brother, he went on Amazon and went shopping. Talking about, I had some cigar glasses, some Cartiers. Shoot. Matter of fact, she broke my knee. Where can I get one of them? And I ended up having to pay restitution. I had to go back and forth to court for about 6-7 months.
It was sometime you were driving up there and they changed the date. And you would literally drive, what's that, 4-hour drive? All the way there just for them to tell you that they rescheduled and you drive all the way back.
Let me tell you why. I would go down there, still mad with God. How you let this happen to me? How could you let this happen to me? I go there, they tell me, Yeah, come back next month, same time. In front of the judge for 10 seconds, if that.
Yep.
And I'm crying like, I'm canceling events because I have to be at court. And I'm at home. I'm still mad at God. I'm mad at this man. Because I'm like, bro, you know the truth. I was good to you, man. And I still put it off on them, God and him. And it was not until I'm in the car, I'm headed there. I said, where am I going wrong with how I'm talking about this? I said, God, thank you for showing me. Showing me first that how I have dealt with issues with physical fighting is going to lead to my death if I don't stop. Dwelling in spaces that I am no longer in is going to kill me. I need to stop. It is not my job to fix people. I need to stop. When you show me signs, I need to trust you. I need to stop. It was so many things about me that he was using this family, these people, this situation, this man to help me. But I was seeing it as an attack. I was seeing everything as a delay, as an attack, as a this. And the whole time I had been begging, asking God to help mature spaces that my father would have helped. That a healthy environment would have cultivated. Good counsel and community. But I had isolated myself. It's just me and my children. Let you in, Laterras. I'll tell you a couple things, but you know, it's just me and the kids.
Yeah.
So it's just me. He knew I was a loner.
Yep.
I was perfect. There's nobody around. She ain't got no family. It's just her and the kids.
Yep.
I can create this narrative and there's nobody to back us up. Like whatever.
Yep.
And she's under the radar. I had let him know, listen, right now I'm taking a break from singing. I'm healing myself. I'm getting healed. I'm working out. I'm getting myself together. I'm feeling good about myself. I'm moving how I want to move as opposed to being forced into the spotlight. And God was using that for me. He was using that gentleman for me. He was using that situation for me. And that day, during that ride, that I said, it was for me, wasn't it? I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't listen to you. And I have to change how I handle things. I can't fight no more. I can't argue no more. I can't be okay with that. I deserve something different. I got there. My attorney said, you don't have to come back. Just go downstairs, pay the restitution. I'll take it from here. You got one more court date, but I'll do it. What he could have done the entire time.
Yep.
But God wouldn't let it be until I came to the real why so that I could grow.
There it is.
You know what I mean? A lot of times, Laterras, we'll call it cycles when truly it's the same class.
Yeah.
You keep flunking.
Yes.
It's coming through different people. You're flunking. It's familiar spirits, of course, but it's because you're flunking.
100%.
There's a teacher there for you. And at this point, the teacher was this guy.
Yep.
And he loved me so wrong that it was right for the lesson. It was right to evoke the change. It was right to make change. Now, let me tell you how super dope God is.
Talk about it.
From there, I write a TV series that's been, now we're about to start production for it. From there, I write a complete album.
100%.
Sell out concerts.
Yep.
Because of this man.
Yes.
There were so many giftings in passing the test. Actually getting the lesson. That was the whole test. Jessica, you're going to have to take this course. It's training. But I want you to pass the course. We'll call it a failure. I went to jail. That hurt me. I didn't deserve to be there, but I needed to be there. I got choked out and I almost lost my life. Had he been on me 5 more seconds, I would have been dead. That's how far it went. maybe 3 more seconds, I would have been dead because I was gone. Like, there's this place, like, when you're entering, like, almost death to where you can breathe. It's weird. That's how I know I was dying, because I knew my physical body could not breathe, but I was breathing.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I was in between lives.
Yeah.
And it was really surreal, like, to fade out like that. It was surreal. It goes from pain and struggle to, like, some kind of calm.
Yeah.
I was very calm. I could breathe. And I was just like, yo, I think I'm dying. This is crazy. And then he got off me. Then I was like, oh, you have to die.
You try to kill me.
And so, fast forward to now.
Well, I want to talk about this one point, how once you got that aha moment, you started transitioning and your voice changed. You started saying, oh, I got to go ahead and pay this. And yeah, he's going to shopping and doing this, and I'm just going to pay it. I said, you're not going to fight? He's like, I'm just going to pay it. And I was like, how does somebody make you pay all this stuff? He was like, hey, this is small to me. And I was like, that's not small. But your perspective has shifted in such a way to where you understood what the journey called for.
Yeah.
And you was like, I'm finna pay this. I don't care. I spend a few $1,000s on whatever. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. And it was such a telling moment, because the Jessica that was frustrated making those drives all the way to Oklahoma all the time, and then the one that says, now I've been ordered to pay restitution and pay for all this stuff. It was two totally different people.
Two totally different people. And I give all glory, honor, and praise to God. He's so dope. If you can really accept the journey and what is caused for you to be what God has created you to be, I promise you'll be all right.
But it's interesting because you could have took offense with God to say, okay, now I done got choked out. I done went to jail. Now I'm going to pay my abuser. I'm gonna pay the person that's wrongly accusing me. That's the time to quote unquote get mad. But you didn't get mad at God. You got happy with God.
I got mad first, and so he kept me in that cycle. You gonna keep going back. You gonna drive, and you gonna drive, and you gonna drive, and you gonna keep driving until you stop.
I'm talking about when they ordered you to pay restitution. You didn't get mad at all.
Oh my gosh, no! I said, okay.
Because you just wanted to be over at that point.
No, it wasn't even that no more. I got it. I understood. I just bought an expensive conference class. I just paid for a college class.
Yeah.
Them things can run up.
Yeah.
They can be expensive depending on which course you're taking, what you're trying to study. It cost.
Talk about it.
It cost me. And I took that class. And I had to keep taking that class. I took that class in my previous relationship. I failed that class. I had to take the class again. I thought I had passed. I didn't. I didn't get the necessary lessons. I got the general lesson where all of us will be like, yeah, this was toxic. Y'all was... Nah, there's something deeper than that.
Yes.
There's something God is trying to teach me in this. He don't ever want me coming back here.
Yes.
And if I can just go through this moment since I'm in it and actually pay attention to everything that my heart had me blind to. My heart had my ears blind, my nose blind, my eyes blind. My senses was numb. And so I was at the state of love covers a multitude of fault. It makes room for you. It makes excuses for you. So you're covered. I can't see what other people see. That's where I was. But I had to play the tape back. I played the tape back. I said, I tolerated that. Why? Oh, because I had the tools. Why did you tolerate that? Can you grow in this environment?
That's good that you said because I had the tools. Oftentimes we believe that just because we have the capacity that's the assignment.
It's not.
And you've said that before. You was like, oh, I'm a you likened it to the gallon and the pint size people. And because you're a gallon, then it takes a lot more to fill you up, but also because you have so much overflow that people can get blessed by your overflow. So oftentimes you think that that's your assignment, is to come into people's life and see their deficiency and be like, oh, I got enough love to give. And I believe, of course, that that's what God is trying to heal you from, is that you're not the Jesus in their relationships. You're not supposed to save them.
When I tell you, no, it ain't trying to heal me from. You hear that? What happened to me? I just told you I went to jail. How much more you think he got to do to me? I'm good. I got it. Point taken and proven and grasped. No, ain't no, that's what I think. Nah, you ain't got to think that no more, Laterras. I got it. God dog it. I said it. But what happened, let me tell you.
Oh, God.
There's these levels of maturity.
Yeah.
And I've learned to give myself grace through the process. I've learned to give myself grace. I've learned to, you stupid. No, I ain't. I'm in process. You ain't come from where I came from. You weren't fathered by my father. You wasn't mothered by my mother. You wasn't raised in my household. You have no idea what was brewing inside of me, the demons that's attached to my bloodline. You have no idea the obstacles. You have no idea the journey. But because I got first delivered from people pleasing, I was equipped to go through this.
Yes.
Because with the people pleasing and this,
oh no, you've been out of here.
Yeah,
you've been out of here.
And being able to be like, nah, it's just you and me. And God's so cool. Look how the story coming out. Because it wasn't about that.
Yeah, it wasn't about sensationalize a story where you all in tabloids and everybody.
Yeah, it was a lesson.
Yes.
I love you, Jessica. I love you. I want you to grow, daughter. I want you to be better. This is between you and me. Look, let's heal this. Let's heal this. Your father didn't, and it killed him. He lived by the gun and he died by the gun. He didn't shake it. I think about some of the challenges with how me and my siblings interact and how physical we would be when it came to a disagreement. We wasn't healing each other.
Nah.
And if one of us decided to be the bigger person, it's like, hey man, get that white stuff out of here. It was like, it was shunned. So it wasn't like you could even be healed around my family. You gotta talk their language. You gotta be like, I gotta fight you. I don't even want to fight no more. I changed, bro. I have changed. But you don't know what that sound like. And you gonna make me mad again by calling me something else. So, you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing.
God, help us, Lord.
Being all right with all of the processes and God giving me grace. That's why I thank God for him. That's why I understand when God called Judas a friend. Because he was purposed to help him fulfill his destiny. That's why the one who wanted to shun him from the process, who stuck close to him, who said, you are the Son of God. He said, get behind me, Satan. Peter, who was his like, I will kill it, man, please. Yeah. Y'all ain't about to talk to this dude. He said, no, you get behind me, Satan, because at this moment, you're not helping me be what I'm supposed to be.
Teach, Queen.
And so it sucked that I had to go through that. It sucked that you can sit there and say, but she's so sweet. Nah, I had stuff, demons, traumas, fears. I didn't know how to let go. That's why I stayed so long. I had people had left me. I didn't know how to leave a toxic situation, even though I'm like, this don't bother me no more. But Sirs, would you stop talking to me like that? You crazy. I didn't. All of these things have to be worked out.
Yes.
And God loves me.
Enough to go through that process.
And in that process, I had to go through the fire of it. But now I'm at the point of wisdom. I ain't got to go through the heat to know it's hot up in there.
Talk about it.
And that's growth. That's maturity for me. I don't have to go through the heat to know it's hot. I can feel that thing. Yeah. When Meshach and Abednego and Shadrach went into the fire, the officers that were instructed to put them in died.
Burned up.
From the heat, because the king had them turn the fire up. They didn't die from the fire. They died from the heat. You get what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And so I have now misunderstood the growth process. Molly Music told me one time, some years ago, he said, you know what your problem is, Reedy? You don't respect the process.
Ooh.
That time I was in my 20s, early 20s. I could have been like 22. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, you don't respect the process. And every so often, his voice comes back to me. It's the process. Everybody wants to declare something over you. You this, I am not. I am becoming. I am in process. I am continuing. I am in motion. But you didn't. No, I'm not. And that's why I can't declare nothing over him. I bless God for this man. Without what he had being put in my life, I would have to still work this out. Some kind of way that had to come out of me.
Yeah, it'd be somebody else playing that role. Yeah.
Maybe it would have been at the risk of my children. Maybe it could have got so bad to where God would have to do the ultimate extremes. I don't know. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for him, for the storyline, for how it was set up, how he allowed the man to get hurt the day before. It was positioned prematurely for that moment.
And to still protect you in the process.
You understand? He was like, you're not going to die. I just need you to get the lesson. God set it up for me not to die. He was like, I got to hurt this dude because he literally will blank out. So I got to hurt him to make sure that she don't die so she can get the lesson. Yeah. And it was necessary. It was necessary.
It was necessary.
It was definitely necessary. It was necessary. And yeah.
So first of all, I just want to congratulate you on, we've talked for months about actually telling this story. We laughed about it. We got to a place we could laugh about it. You always say I used to joke about it. But what I joked about is because the way you tell a story, it'd be the most traumatic stuff that I'd be about to get mad at. I'll get mad at the whole situation, but then I'll start laughing because you make light of it so much. But because it was the funniest thing. I would talk to you on your rides, on your drives to Oklahoma. It'd just be so funny because you just ain't got no sense. That's just bottom line. You ain't got no sense. So it'd just be so crazy. I'd be like, what is wrong with this girl? But then it did hurt me. It hurt me because what resonated to me so much is when you said you're about to take me away from my children. And one of my sisters had one of those experiences before. And so that's all I heard was my sister said, not in front of my kids. Don't kill me in front of my kids. And when she told me that, she never told me that she was in this abusive relationship because she didn't want me doing nothing crazy. And it's such a sensitive place to be in when you're a woman that's in an abusive relationship, or when the relationship escalates to an abusive environment. Then it's like, because it just takes one time, and your kids now have a whole different narrative. Their whole trajectory has changed. It's the most painful thing that a kid could go through, because even when I talk to one of my nephews or whatnot, they still, they recall those memories because they've seen it. And so I have a very, very sensitive place when it comes to that. I lost my aunt to domestic violence, and my grandma. They both were shot by my aunt's abusive boyfriend, who was actually, that's the aunt who named me. My Aunt Kay named me Laterras. And my nephew is serving so many years in prison, I can't even keep up, because he grew up with that. He grew up losing his mom when he was like 2 years old. We're both around the same age. Shout out to Evatris. My aunt was either going to name me Evatris or Laterras. So I think I won.
Evatris, I'm so sorry. You got the bitter end of that stick, man. I don't mean, if all the Evatrices out there, what?
So she gave me Laterras, so that's what it was.
I'm still stuck at Laterras too, though. Like, let's not play like that's not a different kind of situation. What is that? What's a Laterras?
I don't know, but my Aunt Kay named me Laterras, and I thank Aunt Kay for that. God rest her soul. But yeah. So when I hear situations like this, it breaks my heart, especially when it hits really close to home, like a friend, someone that I love dearly, And even going through that situation, I would try to give you advice, and then you'll be like, I'm gonna see for myself. You know, it's like the girl Aria Fitzpatrick on Instagram. She's like, I'm gonna see for myself. So that's how you are. You just like, well, no, I see this or whatever. And then I think one time I kind of pushed a button because it was like, I don't think I want to tell them this no more. Because it was like you were going back. You went back to the situation. I was just like, I see it. Because I've been in those environments so much. I've been in those environments where somebody they know what buttons to push to trigger the worst version of yourself. And they know it, and they get pride in it, and they get joy out of it. And then you think you're so strong that you can overcome that and you can withstand it, but they know the exact buttons to push to get the worst version of you.
Absolutely. And beyond that, a lot of it is because they have found you to be so suitable. They want to find an imperfection.
100%. Oh, 100%.
It's like, I remember he said, like, I don't think I'm good enough for you.
God, okay. I got triggered. Go ahead.
And then beyond that, he would say things like, I mean, I ain't never had nobody love me like this. Like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to be in this space because I'm not familiar here. And so, ladies, let me tell you something. I have learned to respect advice and counsel. I didn't have that before because I thought I knew the power of what I had. But here is the key. The power of what I have is powerful for people that are mature enough to receive it. But the power that I have for other people is detrimental to them. It is painful for them. The Bible says that if you advise a fool, he will turn in anger at you. So the very thing that one person will say, that is a powerful woman. She is an asset. Yeah. She should be protected. Another man will say that is a threat. I got to remove that.
Yes.
I got to break that down, 100%. Rebuild that back up.
Yes.
I don't even like that.
Yes.
You're threatening everything I identify myself as, everything that makes me feel like, you know, and I didn't know. I just knew I was powerful. I knew that love conquers all. But love conquers all for a cultivating environment. Many times, Jesus went places and only could heal a few. Not because he didn't want to heal the many.
Talk about it.
But they couldn't receive him.
There it is.
They didn't have the faith. They could not accept him. And I didn't have the ears to hear, the eyes to see, the senses to identify where my gift thrived the best.
Yes.
Who my gift was designed the best for. There's levels to this thing. And again, as I'm processing and growing and strengthening these muscles, I'm learning. Now, there's a people that when I do what I do great, they be like, oh, thank you. I'm going to use that. And they flourish. And then they feed me and I flourish.
Yeah.
You know, and then there are people that chew what I do, spit it out and say, you think you better than me, don't you?
There it is.
You know, and that maturity, I got all of that from that situation. That's how dope God is. Will I be doing that again? No. I don't need that class again. I graduated. I got my PhD. I'm good. I don't need that lesson. But I don't know the other lessons. David wrote a scripture that says, the innermost parts of me, God, search those parts. The parts of me that I am not aware of. Clean that up. There are parts of me I can pray about. And I can say, God, I need help here. I recognize. But then there are areas of me that were buried when I was a teenager. That are waiting on the right moment to sabotage where I'm at. Seeds that were planted when I was a kid, waiting. They're like, what's those trees? Evergreens. They take a long time to sprout up surface, but they be living underneath in the concrete.
Yeah.
They grow in the concrete for miles and only have this much above the ground.
Yep.
And so it's like those parts of me, I don't know what else the life bring, but I know one thing's for certain. I know how to listen. I know how to say, okay, you're right. I'm going to trust you on that one. Yeah, you probably right about that. Okay. I ain't got to test the waters like I used to, and that's growth. And I celebrate myself for that.
And you should. And you should, and you should, and you should. Again, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of your journey. I thank you for I know we don't use lit on Hello Hubby, but
yeah, we don't.
But we got to come up with something, then, Jessica. You got to come up with.
I'm living my authentic self as me. What's the acronym for that?
That'll be blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of syllables and a lot of characters. But yeah, what do you think people have to look forward to this season with Hello Hubby?
More transparency, but more laughs. We've had, oh my gosh, it's going to be such an amazing episode. And I'm so grateful to have you on here, because to start it off with the truth sets the foundation of transparency, of bearing your flaws, of being brave enough to show scars and imperfections, and to dismantle assumptions, and even put away with pedestals. Like, no, don't put me high. I'm learning like you, girl. I'm growing like you, girl. I'm trying my best. I'm getting these things off of me one shuckle at a time. One knuckle is, anyway. But I think that they're going to have the unexpected. We got some top guests. Oh my gosh.
Next week we got who?
Marvin Sapp.
Oh, when I say we shot that episode.
Gosh.
We shot that episode today, and it was absolutely amazing.
Marvin Sapp is amazing.
It was just brilliant.
He's amazing.
You know what? I do want to say this, because you pointed out something to me in our little joking banter as you were going through process. And I got really frustrated with you for allowing yourself to be put in this situation with, oh boy. And this is before it ever happened. And then you flipped it on me and said, but how long were you dealing with the girl that you was in that toxic situation with? And I said, 3 years. She said, so it took you 3 years. And here it is, me. I'm just in this for a couple of months. Yeah. So how can you judge me? And I shut my mouth up and I said, I'm gonna allow you to go through your process.
Thank you.
Because God told me, Laterras, even when you were going through your toxic situationship, no one could tell you when the pain was too much. That you kept going through it. God used very powerful people to speak into my life. To start bishops, pastors. Like, I was like, what are y'all doing? Y'all leave me alone.
Yeah. Rabbit's like, I don't normally talk, bro. But you probably need to move on. Hey, and you out of carrots. Hey, bro. The roach came out like, she ain't around. Hey, bro, let me tell you something. Somebody was here. And I left I left some of my kids in his shoes for you. Bro, look, come on, man. Come on. Like, and then let me tell you.
Oh, God.
Laterra's sitting there being all harsh with me. You ain't listening. Blah, blah.
Right. Let's also acknowledge the age gap.
Yes.
I know I'm mature, but I'm a youngster.
How old are you, Jessica? Don't tell people how old you are.
I'm 34.
Because a lot of people think you're older than what you are.
This is true.
Because you carry yourself like and then you act silly, and then you carry yourself like a grown woman, and then you act silly.
It's called balance. That's called balance. I'm 34.
34 years old.
I have 3 sons. I am a woman in process. I acknowledge my flaws, my woes. And I celebrate every black man on his journey, every black woman on their journey. I celebrate you for going through that and literally making lemonade. All of this
was birthed
from that. And all that God has allowed me to birth came from that.
Yeah.
So we don't, and I have told him many times, he had a nickname for his past situation. I'm like, stop calling her. That's a blessing. We thank her. That's a blessing. She's a blessing. She was positioned.
Yeah.
I thank God. I speak nothing but life and blessings over that man because he fulfilled a purpose in my life that has blessed my children to eat from. The writing is sending checks to me and my children.
Yes.
My kids are
Them
eating
songs that you
off
write in
of
that pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
The movie that, like, the stuff that has been produced from this.
Yeah.
I thank God for this man. I wish nothing but well for this man, healing to this man, love to this man.
So when we did the takeover at Word of Truth Church, and you sung Better.
Yes.
And I listened to every single lyric of that song as you were singing it. And it was such an out-of-body experience for me on that stage, because it's like God, I was in my before place. God showed me all of this would manifest if I just stayed the course of obedience and literally walked through the healing process. And at the end of the performance, you walked up and you hugged me, and I just looked at you. I couldn't even hug you back. I just stood there and just looked at you, because I was watching and me knowing in my mind what you had gone through prior, and then you knowing what I had gone through. And I sat there and I just wanted to just cry on that stage. And I said at the end of you singing, I said, y'all don't understand. I love being in the presence of God. I said, because if it hadn't been for the presence of God visiting me in that dark space, the Dear Future Wifey podcast wouldn't exist. And God always reminds me of those situations that through that pain, it produced purpose. In that pain, it produced this amazing platform. And so even when God told me, or it was you, either you or God told me to do Hello Hubby, probably you. Yeah, you.
Lord, I ain't taking no glory from you, but come on, bro. We all know who made the suggestion.
And I realized that it's all by design. You know what I'm saying? Like, even one day we'll talk about how you and I met and all that other stuff, and the people gonna really
finally
understand.
you're gonna get that story right.
Yeah, finally. Yes. And so the reality is, when that actually comes out, people are like, wow, God was a part of that story all the way back then.
And so that's and to move forward, like, it's like when you see somebody in process, watch your words. Something, if they handle this right,
Yeah.
if they really get the lesson, this was for them.
Yes.
This thing is gonna make them billionaires, millionaires,
Yes.
Emmy Award winners, Grammy Award winners. Like, because of my writing from that situation, I just finished a project with TD Jake's new record that just came out, Women That Are Loose. Because of that, I'm writing on the Rock Nation project.
Wow.
Working with Stanley Brown. Because of that, you get what I'm
Testify.
saying? It's like the way this thing is going. If you can take the lesson and not spend time trying to see just how flawed another person is, but go into what I call the room of mirrors. That man went in that room of mirrors with me. It was just Jessica. And God wanted me in there alone. Listen, daughter, pay attention. What am I trying to show you? Who you acting like? My father. Yeah. And how did he end up? Not here. Who else you acting like? My mother. And how did she end up? Abused. You want to break generational curses? Yes, sir. All right, let's start doing the work. And so the work requires some provoking, some nudging, some poking at me to get it out. And it's like, and I'm like, oh, shoot, it's still in there.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Won't be around your kind again, but you served a great purpose.
There it
Appreciate
is.
you. And I've learned, I have a group of people. I love you because a part of you is so selfless to where you say, look, meet me here. You've put me in rooms with people in a community that I walk through and live in that I would have never met. Some of them are my good friends now. Yeah. Some of them have been blessings to me. Some of them we talk throughout the day. You know what I mean? You are a destiny helper for me.
Yes.
And it's a graduation from where I used to be. It's a huge graduation. And I just wanted to acknowledge you and say how proud I am of you and how, man, you're doing a god doggone thing. Like you are climbing, crossing mountains and barriers. You are in the space right now. You are showing what being transparent and walking through the process and healing and really taking the lessons appropriately, really putting your time an investment in good soil. Like you're planting seeds in good soil. And in order to do that, you got to have discernment.
Yes.
And you have to operate in wisdom. And you have to be sensitive of time. And you have to be sensitive of seasons. And you got to know how to speak every language to every man. Because you are in rooms with people who speak multiple languages. They're doing different things. And you go to the church and speak that jargon. You go to this place and speak that jargon. And God is blessing every place you put your hand on. And it is a blessing to watch. It is a blessing to see you grow. To see the limitless possibility. Like there ain't no cap. There is no top to this thing. This thing can just go. And I'm inspired. I glean from afar. But I wanted to publicly say to you what I say to you privately. I am so proud of you, Kingdom Rael, getting the property, making relationships, carving out visions, executing. The podcast going number 1, number 2 on Apple, to the product, being diligent with the Hello Hubby box and you really sticking with that. That's what's crazy.
Are you talking the Dear Future Wifey box?
Yeah, I mean, you sticking with that thing. I mean, you really be writing them letters. You know what I'm saying? Like, after a while, you be done. Like, God, you really be writing. Like how many? You done put out so many episodes.
It's 100 letters. I did the 100th letter a couple
be
of
writing. That's why, like the commitment. That's crazy. I mean, you prove to be a committable kind of man. You know what I'm saying? I am committable. Is that a word? Like, golly, I mean, you really be writing.
Just be quiet.
All right, cool.
So,
all right.
When you talked about everything you've been through, it's the epitome of the scripture that says, "For I know all things work together for the good of them that love God, and to the called according to His purpose." And it's just amazing that I would have never even knew that you and I would be sitting here today doing what we do. I want to give a shout out to my boy Tony, because my boy Tony, he was shooting this thing for Kurt Franklin. He was doing Sunday service, and he was doing these concerts with gospel artists or whatnot, and it was live. They was doing a live stream on Sunday, and back in 2021, that was 2021, and he said, "Hey, I want you to come up here so you can see my new setup or whatever." Matter of fact, Jessica Reedy gonna be there, and I said, "I ain't gonna go to no Jessica Reedy. Jessica Reedy was cool with the girl I used to deal with. No, she probably don't want to see me." And then he was like, well, I didn't even say that to him. I said that internally. And to him, I was like, well, I'll see if I can come. I'll try to see. And then God said, go. I said, God, this is going to be so uncomfortable.
I went into where they had me, like a little dressing room, and I prayed. And I said, God, And he said, I said, Lord, you want me to do this? Because I ain't in the mood. Here's the funnier part. Guess who brought
I know
me
it.
there?
The dude that...
Guess who drove me there?
The dude that we talked about in this story was the one that dropped you off.
But let me tell you how strategic God is. God, ice cold, man. If you think you run anything,
Yes.
you run nothing. We're fully dressed. He's dressed. I'm dressed. We're going to this Kirk Franklin Sunday service thing so I can sing with my singers. As soon as we pull up to park the car, he gets a call that his grandmother has just been rushed to the hospital. I mean, literally, as soon. He was never destined to be a part of the full story.
Yep.
Just to make appearances. And it was brilliant. God is brilliant.
Yeah.
God is brilliant. Anyway, but then I went outside and one of my singers, I said, this gentleman wants me to go with him to this podcast thing. He wants me to be on his podcast. But I heard some things that make me angry. And she said to me, it was a confirmation. She said, but has he treated you like that? I said, no. She said, well, give everybody a chance to change. And that's what did it. So I walked over to Laterras. I said, I'm riding with you.
She said, we're going now. I said, now? I was talking about sometime this week. He was like, I got makeup on now.
I got my makeup on. I'm dressed. We going right now. And here we are. What a blessing. Here we are. And And we were able to comb out that conversation, that situation. That night after the podcast, you called me.
No, it wasn't. It was weeks. It was weeks later.
Was it weeks later?
It was weeks
Not
later.
weeks later.
It
had
was
to
weeks.
be
No, it was
a
weeks.
week.
No, it wasn't. Because what made me on the fence
couldn't
about
have
doing Hello Hubby, because I said, I don't know if I want to work with somebody that believes a lie about me and I haven't even spoken about it. And God said, don't say nothing. So I still never said anything. So I'm going to tell you how God is. Gosh, I love it. So I'm a person that always like to put stuff out on just come on, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna address this elephant in the room.
Me too.
And I never said anything. I sat because on my wall, what does it say in my office in there?
Let your
Character outlive their lie. That's on my wall, on my thing. And God said, be quiet. Don't say nothing. I will let your character outlive that lie. And when she's told, I didn't know, you just told me that she said that to you, is have he ever treated you like that? Then give somebody the opportunity to change. It wasn't even a change. It was the fact that it's just a whole lie. So I said,
well, let me also be clear. It ain't like you won't put your hands on me if we ever know. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to know about his character. My daddy was one of the coolest dudes I ever met. I don't care you cool. Do you slap women? Like, that quote don't really apply, but I'm gonna let you have it because it's a good moment. Go for it. Go. But I mean, really, don't you know?
You talking about what she said to you?
No, I'm saying like there was no way that your character would have told me you didn't.
Yes, it would be.
Smack women.
It will.
I know some of the coolest people I've ever met in my life.
No, but it's still gonna come out. What happens in the dark
and they
gonna
be
come
with
to
their
light.
chick and they be kicking it.
But it's gonna come out in the dark. Come out in the light. What happens in the dark comes to the light. That's what my mom always taught me. Always taught me that. Just like whatever you was going through privately, it went to the courts. You know, it's just what God does. And so even in that situation, I was just like, all right. And so I wanted to talk about it. And God kept telling me, shut up.
Yeah.
And you brought it up. And it was literally about a month later. I already had agreed to do Hello Hubby and all this stuff. I said, I'm going to be working with this girl and this. I thought it was going to be just a one-off. I don't want to even see this girl.
And let me tell you why I brought it up. I brought it up because I like to address the elephant in the room. I don't want to work with nobody that I can't speak freely to.
100%.
And so I said to myself, he ain't going to talk about this? Oh, no, we're going to talk about this. I remember where I was, too.
But think about it. God telling me to be quiet about it because there's a whole quote on my wall that was up a year, 2 years prior to that. And then I'll be quiet and then allow you to say it.
Yeah.
And so when you brought it up, I said, yeah, we're going to talk about it. And that's going to come out in the movie. The whole story, everything that's ever happened in that toxic situationship is the most amazing thing. And people understand how the podcast ended up coming to be. But I had to go through so much. And when you talk about a smear campaign, when you talked about how he already started saying that, and that's why I said I saw that spirit. See, I knew that spirit. So when I got mad at you, I was really mad at myself for allowing myself to be subjected to the same spirit that I watched my friend be subjected to. So I got mad at you. I was like, just listen to me. Just listen. Because had I listened to the other people early on, I could have prevented all that heartache and pain.
Yeah, I'm so glad I didn't listen to you.
Yes, because you had to go through the process.
I had to. I am so glad I didn't listen to anybody. I'm so glad I went to jail. I'm so glad that happened because I will never, and I mean never, unless somebody is trying to hurt my children, put my hands on a man. What I'm going to do is already know that man he has the characteristics for me to put my hands on him, and I'm going to move around.
Bless him with goodbye.
You look like somebody I would be tempted to put my hands on. You're not the guy for me.
100%.
That's it. Like, I am so grateful you went through that because all of these families and marriages and relationships and Hello Hubby and all of the people that's been blessed and these women that chase after you, they wouldn't even know you exist.
100%.
All these DMs you get, they wouldn't even know to contact you. All of these people sending these unanimous letters and all of these things, that stuff would have never happened. All of these ladies that send their panties and bras through the emails and through their pictures and stuff, that stuff would have never happened. All of the contacts that you have in your phone of nothing but women and 5 guys, that would have never happened. So we thank God for this woman.
How they gonna DM their panties?
I don't know how they figured that out. I don't know how they figured that out, but they did. They figured out how to do that. That's modern technology. They was dealing with Elon Musk, and they said, "Tell me how I can send my panties to an address that ain't the address yet." He said, "I got it. We're gonna go through space." I want to tell you something, and you're gonna see it in episode with Marvin Sapp. A man that wants you, he'll come to you. And I want you to know that Laterras is a man who has eyes and he knows what he wants. So when you position yourself in a certain light, and trust me, I've been guilty of it, for whatever reason, you are no longer a wife, but you are amazing ego boosters and entertainment of conversation. Because his masculinity and the way that if he wanted, he go for it. Did y'all see the episode with baby girl?
Essence.
With Essence? This man put this woman in here. She didn't even know she was in here with us. And said a big speech. I just want you to know. I don't watch your swag. I like the way you do your thing. The way that you talk your talk. The way that you ring a ding. Ding. Essence, you and I should be. Essence said respectfully, I don't see you in that way. But my point is, all y'all was DMing him and he knew what he wanted. And he went after that. All y'all was slewing him with letters. The God told me you was my husband. He read them. And he say, thank you for that. And it helps him know that he has value and that he's seen. But I also want you to know, after you say that, if he don't bite the bait, move on, sis. Because this man will put you on, dear future wifey, with us. And will say, dear future wifey, I think it's time I let you know that I have a box of 100 letters just for you. Cause I stare out my window, I watch you as you pass me by. Like, he got that in him. Y'all ever watch You on Netflix? Ain't nothing but cameras in this spot. There's 3 cameras looking at me now. 14 cameras in there. He got 20 TV screens in this other room. He owned them all. Up in here, the man is genius. Trust me. If he like you, he been watching you. Now, there's another man, he don't do all that. Laterras R. Whitfield. He is looking at you. Oh, God. You don't have to even look at him. He's looking. You want to know what Laterras is? Go to the Temptation song. I stare out my window. I got to use this voice. I want you. Don't interrupt me, Laterras. I want you. Look at my eyes closed. I'm serious. I want her as she passes by. That's the face he make, like. Because the hunter in him awakens.
Oh, God.
It awakens. When he sees something he wants, the hunter in him say, watch her. Okay, so, and this is the problem I have with Laterras. The problem I have with Laterras is that he, to me, is not giving proper representation for you to not have this false hope. And as a woman, I don't like no man doing that. So I want to help you. Since you fine, stop sending pictures with your butt first like a face. I don't know how you wrap your body around like that, where your face and your butt are equally present. But we're amazing creatures. I mean, because all he doing is looking and saying, dang, and moving on. Essence ain't do all that. Essence wear turtlenecks. Beautiful. poised.
Oh God. Oh God.
And he said, I like that. That's what I want.
But you with the face in the butt, I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you twisted that thing. Whoa.
That's all you getting is a whoa. I just want you to know behind the scenes, that's what's happening. So, sis, when you get to do them thumbs, I want you to do this to yourself. I want you to say, I'll contact him next week. Because some of y'all be contacting him every week because he don't mind sending you voice memos. You know, so y'all be like, Mr. Laterras, I just want to let you know that your episode really blessed me. When you know that's game, right? And he was like, and he'll send him back a message like, I'm so glad that blessed you, and thank you for being a supporter, a dear future wifey. And you at home blushing. You at home like, girl, guess who sent me a message? All the while he doing that.
I will not be laughing. I will not be laughing.
All the while.
I will not be laughing. I
Yeah,
actually
all right.
enjoyed it. I enjoy those moments.
He's a good person. I'm just.
I actually enjoy the fact that
he's
people find value in what it is. So I even send voice memos to dudes too. So that's the thing about it, is that I love the fact that God took my pain and actually made it resonate with people.
Laterras R. Whitfield, I thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You are just something else. And I told you had to be the first episode. You had to be back. You had to be the one to break this one off right. And I'm proud of you. Y'all give it up for Laterras R. Whitfield, Mr. Dear Future Wifey himself.
Thank you, Queen.
Ow!
It's been an honor. It's been an honor.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all know that you are in for a treat, because next week we have none other than the amazing Marvin Sapp. And he is teaching us, he is laughing with us, he is showing us what dating life looks like in 2022 for him. And it is so funny, and it's just good. It's good talk. So y'all stay tuned. I love you. I'll see you next week.
Hello, Hubby.